of asphodel, that greeny flower, like a buttercup upon its branching stem, save that it's green and wooden. I come, my sweet, to sing to you. We live long together, a life filled, if you will, with flowers. So that I was cheered when I came first to note how there were flowers also in hell. Today I'm filled with the fading memory of those flowers that we both loved. Even to this poor colorless thing, I saw it when I was a child, little prized among the living but the dead sea, asking among themselves, what do I remember that was shaped as this thing is shaped? While our eyes fill with tears of love, abiding love, it will be telling, though too weak a wash of crimson colors don't make it wholly credible. There is something urgent I have to say to you and you alone, but it must wait while I drink in the joy of your approach, perhaps for the last time, and so with fear in my heart I drag it out and keep on talking, for I dare not stop. Listen while I talk, Onegein's time. It will not be for long, I have forgotten, yet I see clearly enough something central to the sky which ranges round it. An odor springs from it. A sweetest odor. Honeysuckle. And now here comes the buzzing of a bee. And a whole flood of sister memories. Only give me time to recall them before I shall speak out. Give me time when I was a boy I kept a book to which, from time to time, I added pressed flowers until, after a time, I had a good collection. The asphodel, forebodingly, among them. I bring you, reawakened, a memory of those flowers. They were sweet when I pressed them and retained something of their sweetness a long time. It is a curious odor, a moral odor, that brings me near to you. The color was the first to go. There had come to me a challenge. Your dear self, mortal as I was, the lily's throat to the hummingbird, endless wealth, I thought, held out its arms to me, 8,000 tropics in an apple blossom. The generous earth itself gave us leaf. The whole world became my garden. But the sea which no one tends is also a garden when the sun strikes it and the waves are wake, and I have seen it, and so have you, when it puts all flowers to shame. 2. There are the starfish stiffened by the sun and other sea rock and weeds. We knew that along with the rest of it, for we were born by the sea, knew its rose hedges to the very water's brink. There the pink mallow grows, and in their season strawberry, yes, and there, later, we went to gather the wild plum. I cannot say that I have gone to hell for your love, but often found myself there in your pursuit. I do not like it and wanted to be in heaven. Hear me out, do not turn away. I have learned much in my life from books and out of theme about love. Death is not the end of it. There is a hierarchy which can be attained, I think, in its service. Its guerdon is a fairy flower, a cat of 20 lives. If no one came to try it, the world would be the loser. It has been for you and me's one who watches a storm come in over the water. We have stood from year to year before the spectacle of our lives with joined hands. The storm unfolds. Lightning plays about the edges of the clouds. The sky to the north is placid, blue in the afterglow as the storm piles up. It is a flower that will soon reach the apex of its bloom. We danced, in our minds, and read a book together. Do you remember? It was a serious book, and saw books entered our lives. The sea. The sea. Always when I think of the sea, here comes to mind the Iliad and Helen's public fault. Had read it. Were it not for that, there would have been no poem but the world. If we had remembered, those crimson petals spilled among the stones, would have called it simply murder. The sexual orchid that bloomed then, sending so many disinterested men to their graves, has left its memory to a race of fools or heroes. If silence is a virtue, the sea alone with its multiplicity holds any hope. The storm has proven abortive, but we remain after the thoughts it aroused to amend our lives. It is the mind that must be cured short of death's intervention, and the will becomes again a garden. The poem is complex and the place made in our lives for the poem. Silence can be complex too, but you do not get far with silence. Begin again. It is like Homer's catalogue of ships, it fills up the time. I speak in figures, well enough, the dresses saw you wear our figures also, we could not meet otherwise. When I speak of flowers, it is to recall that at one time we were young. All women are not Helen, I know that, but have Helen in their hearts. My sweet, you have it also. Therefore I love you and could not love you otherwise. Imagine you saw a field made up of women all silver white. What should you do? You love them? The storm bursts or fades. It is no end of the world. Love is something else, or so I thought it, a garden which expands, though I knew you as a woman and never thought otherwise, until the whole sea has been taken up in all its gardens. It was the love of love, the love that swallows up all else, a grateful love, a love of nature, of people, of animals. A love engendering gentleness and goodness that moved me and that I saw in you. I should have known, though I did not, that the lily of the valley as a flower makes many ill who with it. We had our children, rivals in the general onslaught. I put them aside though I cared for them. As well as any man could care for his children according to my lights. You understand I had to meet you after the event and have still to meet you. Love to which you two shall bow along with me. A flower, a weakest flower shall be our trust, and not because we are too feeble to do otherwise, but because at the height of my power I risked what I had to do. Therefore, to prove that we love each other while my very bones sweated that I could not cry to you in the act of asphodel, that greeny flower, I come, my sweet, to sing to you. My heart rouses thinking to bring you news of something that concerns you and concerns many men. Look at what passes for the new. You will not find it there but in despised poems. It is difficult to get the news from poems, yet men die miserably every day for lack of what is found there. Hear me out, for I too am concerned, and every man who wants to die at peace in his bed besides.